You are home alone, and you hear on the news about the profile of a murderer who is on the loose. You look outside on the sliding glass doors to your backyard, and you notice a man standing out in the snow as he fits the profile of the murderer exactly, and he is smiling at you. You gulp, picking up the phone to your right and dialing 911. You look back out of the glass as you press the phone to your ear and notice that he is much closer to you now. Then you drop the phone in shock. There are no footprints in the snow. It's his reflection. And that, my little pretties, was Home Alone, a creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? I actually really like this story. Despite the fact that this story was short, it's actually a pretty good well-made story. Now, I have heard of this narration a few times on YouTube. I definitely have to say that it's a pretty good story for what it is. It's amazing, really well made in detail, and I definitely really like how this story went out. It's a pretty good story for what this one is. Now, of course, I could definitely say that this story was amazing and really well made. I definitely have to say, even though the story was short, I still wonder what happens to the person who was home alone when that man, somehow got into his house. So it's most likely that he might have killed him or something, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe that might be it, or maybe there might have been something about, what happens to the person who was home alone. But you guys can, maybe just leave furies down in the comments below, because I would like to hear your furies on this. But despite the fact that I really remembered this story, I think I remembered, this story on a couple narration channels. So I think the first narration of this story I came across was Crepes Spit Pasta. Despite the fact that this story was super short, it's still really good. Like, I know it's a pretty good story for what it is. It's amazing, really well done, and I actually really like this story. Now, I did see a few narrations of it, so I definitely have to say it's a pretty good story. Although, I do wish that the story was, well, longer, perhaps. Maybe that way we'll get to see what happens next, but yet again, maybe that might be just me. Now, it says right here it's by an unknown author, so I don't know who the original author is. So with that said, I'm just gonna leave it as anonymous for now until I find out who the original author is. If I ever do find out who the original author of this story is, I'll be sure to give him or her proper credit. It's a pretty well made story. It's really good and well made. I really do find this story to be a rather interesting concept for what it is. Even though it's a short story, I still find it to be a good concept for what it is. It's a really good concept. It's amazing, really well made. I really do appreciate this story being a pretty good one. Now, I did see a couple narrations of this, and that's actually a pretty good story. And I definitely have to say that this story actually was amazing, to say the least. Now, the grammar, the grammar of this story is really good. I love the grammar of this story. It's pretty good for what it is. Although I sometimes do wish that maybe this story was a little longer or something. But maybe that might be just me. I don't know. But I definitely have to say it's a pretty good story for what it is. It's amazing, to be completely honest with the story. Now, I definitely have to say that the story was freaky. Like, seeing someone who goes around murdering, people and, being outside, and, somehow he somehow got in. Which I have a feeling of how this villain managed to break in the house. He might have maybe sat there and maybe either broke a window or broke down the front door to get there. I'm not really sure, but you guys can leave me down what your theories are on that, because I have a feeling he might have broken a window or something to get in, or maybe broke down the door. Those are just my theories, but I definitely have to say it's a really good story. Now, back when I first narrated this, I narrated this back in when was this uploaded? Let's see. When was this uploaded? Oh, 2017. So I might, maybe 2017 or 2018, I might have maybe came across this story. Never really had the chance to narrate it, but now I finally have the chance to sit there and narrate it. It's a pretty awesome story for what it is. It's amazing, really well done. And you guys should really check out this story if you really like this one. So it is on a creepypasta. It's not on a creepypasta wiki, but it's on creepypasta.org. So you guys can, check out the story if you want to. You can find it. I think the Sebastian, who also narrated this story, put it in so you guys can, take a look at it. It's a pretty good story. I really do have to say that the story actually went out pretty good for what it is. It's a really well-made story. It's great. Really do appreciate the grammar being good. So the grammar was good. Not gonna lie. The sentence structure was pretty good. The storyline, everything about it was just flat out amazing. Like, I really do like how, the concept went out. It was really well made. Like, I do wish that the story was maybe a little longer as to how that became the case. Like, what happens to the person later? Like, did the person get killed or something? That's most likely maybe the theory of what could happen, but I don't really know. That might be just me, but you guys can leave me what your theories are on that in the comments below, because I would like to hear your thoughts and theories. Because, I would really like to hear what your thoughts and theories are on it. So, anyways, I guess I'm gonna sit there and wrap up the review because there's nothing really much for me to talk about. The only issue I would suggest the author to do is maybe have the story longer. Maybe if the story was a little longer, perhaps that way it'd be good. But maybe that might be just me or something, I don't know. But I really would suggest the author, to sit there and maybe make the story longer. That might be just me, but I really don't know. But anyways, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is just simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be 10 out of 10. Pretty good story. It's really interesting for what it is. It's a really good creepypasta. I do enjoy the narrations of it that other users have done. This story, on the other hand, was amazing. Even though it was a short creepypasta, but it's still a pretty good story for what it is. It's still a really good story. And I definitely have to say, to the author, you did a great job with this story. And I wonder if the author has wrote any great stories just like this one. That makes me wonder. Maybe he or she did, I'm not really sure, but I really hope he or she went out of his or her way and wrote more of these stories, because these are just amazing stories. I'm not gonna lie. This story was just amazing. I'm not sure if this author wrote other stories, but I bet her other story or his story, his or her stories for that matter, there are, just as good as this one. Maybe I could be wrong, but, to the author, awesome job with this story. And if you do end up finding this video, maybe you could comment on who you are so I know to give you proper credit. So, anyways, I guess with that being the case, that being said, what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better. Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you happen to be brand new here on this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.